Hey guys, welcome back to another video on the channel. Today I will be doing a bit of a different video. Of course, it's come to the point where I have to rank my entire season 2 of Be Cool Scooby-Doo. Go check out all the reviews if you missed them. But yeah, this is the ordering. If you know what Planet Scooby, for example, is a YouTuber, basically just think of this as one of his videos. Basically, I'll be going to my least favourite to my favourite. He normally goes to his favourite to his least favourite, but I've decided to go to my least favourite to my favourite, just like I did with my season 1 rankings. Now, don't get offended if your favourite isn't my favourite. So yeah, it's just my opinion, and yeah, please feel free to comment down below yours in the comments below. But yeah, I'll stop my jibber jabbing and we'll get straight into it. So in 26th place, yeah, lots of people are probably going to dislike this decision. It's The Curse of Half-Beard's Booty. The reason why I've got this one in this position, and I know lots of Scooby-Doo fans probably would have this one in their top 5 or top 10 from this series or this particular season, but I don't really like the whole concept of the episode. Half-Beard's alright, you know, he's nothing special though, but yeah, the episode just wasn't good, and yeah, definitely the worst one out of all of them. It's one of the mini episodes, one of 2. But yeah, I'd very, very much dislike it. Coming in 25th place is Pizza Opossums. Now this one I just recently reviewed. It's the other mini episode. This was the first one of the 2. And I think it is better than The Curse of Half-Beard's Booty, just because I feel like the scenery and setting and characters are just a little bit better. They have more to do. But yeah, again, not a great episode. I'm not a fan of these mini ones, and yeah, they were a pretty poor idea, especially seeming they came out after the Professor Part 1 and Part 2. You'd think that would be the conclusion to the series, but no. They had to put these 2 short episodes in, so yeah, I'm not too sure why they did that. If they made Pizza Opossum longer and just had that one as an episode, I think it would have been alright. Not amazing, but alright. Now, 24th, I always knew this one was going to be bad, but I was actually expecting this one to be my least favourite. But it isn't. It's coming at 24th, and that is The Ghost in the Mystery Machine. Now, I just hate this episode so much. The Mystery Machine as a villain is nothing special either. There's absolutely nothing going on. No spookiness, no nothing. Like, sure, they're getting chased by a van, but like, it just doesn't feel that scary to me. And yeah, this is definitely, out of all the main longer episodes, this is definitely the worst one. 100%, didn't even have to hesitate to put this one in 24th position. 23rd, little bit surprised this one came this low, to be honest. Omelettes Are Forever, had some good parts to it. Had Minus, I thought Minus was quite cool. But yeah, the characters weren't great. The setting changes, I feel like could have been done better. And yeah, not a lot of spookiness in this one, though Minus did provide it at times. And I also found the humour quite bad in this episode too, I'll add. Now, 22nd, Professor Harp, this is part 1. I've put this one below part 2 just because I feel like part 2 is more intense, and you know, you get that sense that it's actually like the final episode, and I really like the scene at the end in part 2. But part 1, look, you got Rose and the gang. I mean, Rose and her gang, pretty good characters. It's just I didn't really like. I know this is going to hurt lots of Be Cool Scooby-Doo fans' hearts, because if they love the show, they're going to love these episodes. Either you love this episode or you hate it, and yeah, I'm just one that's just not a fan of Professor Harp Part 1. Part 2 would have been a lot higher. I feel like it was pretty good. Better than some of the few that I'm about to mention. This one's in 21st. Spot Professor Half Part 2 or Part 6, 3, 4, whatever you want to call it. But the reason why I put it this low is probably because of the ending where basically Rose was... they reveal that Rose was hired to solve every single mystery from the show. That just ruined the episode, really. That's why it's that low. In 20th position... I thought this one would be a little bit lower, to be honest. The Curse of Kaniaku. I wasn't a fan of this one. I reviewed this one quite some time ago now. I don't remember much, but Kaniaku was okay, but it wasn't utilised amazing. I thought like the Japanese setting was done a lot better in other episodes than this one. Like you look, for example, Big Appetite and Little Tokyo. That one's probably my least favourite list for What's New Scooby-Doo, but I still give it a 7 out of 10 because I still enjoyed it. And yeah, this one's just far off that one, and look, not a fan. 19th, the Christmas episode, Scroogey Doo. I could see this one coming in this position, to be honest. Not much happened. I didn't enjoy Velma at all in this episode. She was just really, really annoying me, and she always has annoyed me since Kate Micucci took over as Velma. I just don't like her in general, and she was really, really bad in this episode. No offense to her, but definitely one of her worst performances. 18th, I've got Silver Scream. I'm a little bit surprised I got this one so low. But then again, you look at my top 15, they're all great episodes, so I didn't really have another position for this one. So, yeah, really, really sorry to the fans who love Silver Scream, because I know there definitely is a few. Not bad, this one, not bad. Had some good moments. Had a few moments that weren't great. I thought the humour was outstanding in this episode as well. One of the best from this season. 17th. Is Worst in Show. Now, this one, again, has a lot of good humour to it. I prefer the Ghost of Archie Barnes over the Hound Beast, but I guess the reason why I prefer this episode is I feel like the Hound Beast is more spookier. He's got fire breath. I feel like I could do some damage. And I like how they try to explore some different options, like splitting up with different people and, I don't know, rewriting the story a bit. I thought they tried a lot in this episode, and I feel like it didn't pay off. But because they tried, I'll give them a few spots higher. But yeah, not the best episode. This one, 16th. I'm surprised this one actually came this high because, look, when I first saw it, I enjoyed it, which was a few years ago now, but. Rewatching it this year, this one's quite bad. Protein Titans 2 comes into 16th spot. I've had lots of people say this one's the worst in the series, or definitely down in the bottom 10. I can try and agree with you there. It definitely is one of the worst in the series, one of the worst in this season. The Ghost Chef was pretty cool, you gotta admit, and he was kind of scary at times. And I really, really enjoyed Fred in this episode. He was quite funny. Daphne didn't have a lot to do. And, of course, Velma being Velma in this one. Yeah, not the best. But, yeah, I was not a fan of this episode. And I kind of feel like it needs to be lower now. It's just here for the moment. And, opinions change. And my opinion's probably going to change about this one. Anyway, top 15. I feel like these 15 are all amazing. They're some of the best in the show. Probably in my top 25. 15 episodes from this season have come in my top 25. Just shows you how much better season 2 was. 15th spot is Mysteries in the Dormant Express. I just feel like that had too much monsters, It had a lot of great elements, but too many monsters. Couldn't keep track of them. I feel like 3 would have been fine. I really, really liked Tengu. The Grim Reaper was cool. And I don't know, we haven't had a mummy in this show by itself. So chuck in the mummy. especially seeming it makes the intro where Shaggy and Scooby are like being chased off by a mummy. You'd assume that that's this mummy. Look, like you can definitely see they had planned this episode right from the beginning. One of the two that I think they definitely planned in this season right from the beginning. But I feel like it's probably the worst out of the better ones from this season. Now, 14th spot is the other one that I feel like was planned right from the start. Grease is the word. Now, don't get me wrong, I love this episode, but the fact that it doesn't come in the top 10 just shows you how good this second season was. Because, yeah, like I was saying, like, it's just really, really good. Like, you know, they packed a lot into this episode, I feel, and all the characters were amazing. The Spider Goddess was amazing. It's just the way the story was written, I guess, means that it can't come any higher, and painfully said, I would have loved this episode to come a lot higher. Now, in 13th spot, we've made it about halfway now. Night of the Upsetting Shorts. Yeah, I was a little bit surprised this one came so high. But yeah, I don't know, there's just a few great moments. Obviously, it was a little bit disappointing, the reveal. But apart from that, this was one of the better ones. The Ape Man was good, I guess. I mean, it wasn't anything special, but he wasn't bad. I can't say it was bad, so... yeah, not a bad episode. The humour, 10 out of 10 in this episode. Definitely the best from the season. This episode had me laughing for, I'd say, majority of it. And yeah, the setting of Florida is just so warm and welcoming for the gang. Yeah, really, really nice. Now, 12th. Little bit surprised this one came so high, and this is pretty much one of my favourite episodes where Velma is completely dominant as Kate Micucci, and that's Vote Velma. So, you know, I can't say Kate Micucci's all bad because she's done a really, really, really good job here. Unfortunately, couldn't get it into my top 10. The ghost of Amos Littlefield, or Little Amo as I like to call him, is a legend. He's a champion, that ghost. One of the better ones from this show. I thought they made him to perfection. The whole setting of Littlefield, and yeah, it's just a very, very, very good episode. You can't go wrong with it. Now, 11th, I absolutely do not know how this one didn't come in my top 10. I think it just snuck into my top 20 for my overall ranking, which will be coming out in a few days. I'm working on that now. But How to Train Your Coward. Could someone tell me how this episode didn't get into the top 10? Because when I watched this one, I went, wow, this one's going to be hard to beat. It's amazing. It's a 10 out of 10 episode. You can't get anything better than How to Train Your Coward. The humour in it's amazing. The vampire's brilliant. The reveal, everything. It's just amazing. One of my favourites. One of my all-time favourites from Scooby-Doo. Like, it's just amazing, this episode. And it was so spooky. It delivered so much. I just don't know how it didn't get in my top 10. I tried, but it didn't work. Now, 10th spot. Some Fred time. Sure, the monster dorsal foot probably isn't as good as a vampire, and the reasoning for what the culprit did wasn't as good as How to Train Your Coward. I mean, he was just after some cash. The butler, of course. But I feel like Fred going on a rampage just made this episode even better than what I was expecting it to be when I came to review this one. And yeah, what a way it was to open up the season. Yeah, Some Fred time. One of the better ones. Now, 9th spot. A little bit surprised it came this high. Then again, a little bit surprised it didn't come higher. Because it's just such a great episode. Fright of Hand. The mutant rabbit is a brilliant monster. The characters are great. The Hocus Pocus Palace is brilliant. It's actually been a while since I reviewed this episode. What else did I have? I think I had some pretty good humour. I seem to remember the Chase song being very, very good. I'm pretty sure it was this episode, the really, really catchy one. And whenever I watch this episode, it just gets stuck in my head for months. Which, I don't know, depending on what time of year, I can find that annoying. But during summer, it's always amazing. Now, 8th. this one would definitely come second to Night of the Upsetting Shorts for humour. Naughty or Ice. Now, the soundtrack, the chase song in this one is just as good as Fright of Hand. It's my favourite. I can remember it, every single word to perfection. I don't know why this one's so good, but it just is. The Iceman is definitely one of the best it is the best caveman out there in Scooby-Doo. Sure, I guess I kind of enjoyed the one from the recent Scooby-Doo and Guess Who second season, the caveman on the half pipe, I believe. Like, that one's a good one, but no one else enjoyed it. But yeah, I feel like Naughty or Ice is very, very similar to that caveman on the half pipe. Just such an underrated episode that's just gone missing from this show. And yeah, people putting this in their bottom 10, I don't know what they're thinking. But yeah, this one is in my top 10, I believe, for the whole show. So yeah, such a great episode. In 7th spot, American Goth. Now, American Goth certainly is one of the better ones, I feel, from the show. It got a lot more elements to it, and yeah, everything just worked to perfection in this episode. Kind of hard to explain in a way. The Goths were amazing. Plant Monster was quite cool. Jeff's just a champion. His tactics are 200 IQ. Like, that's just amazing. But yeah, look, not the best one I could give it, but 7th spot, that's still great. Like, that's brilliant. Now, top 6, I love these episodes to bits. This is why Be Cool Scooby-Doo is so good and so underrated. These 6 episodes make it so underrated, and maybe a few from season 1. Yeah, these ones are the ones that, if I could give it more than 10 out of 10, I would. Starting with 6th spot, and I really, really am sorry for this episode, because it's been so hard to rank these 6 episodes. My top 2 have always been my favourite, and then these 4 I've been scrambling around for years now, since watching them. They have just been scrambling every single day, these 4. I really, really, really want to give this one high. It's been in 5th spot, it's been in 4th spot, it's been in 3rd spot. It definitely hasn't been in the top 2, I can tell you that. And it's in 6th spot at the moment. That's World of Witchcraft. Such a good episode. Salem is amazing. I was a little bit disappointed with Switch to Switch a Witch in the Scooby-Doo show, because I really, really, really liked the Salem setting. That was my favourite part of that episode. But everything else wasn't amazing. And because of it, and because that show is so good, it ended up coming in my bottom 10 for no reason, really. Yeah, because, when I get to doing my Scooby-Doo show ranking of these episodes, yeah, that's going to be a very, very, very tough video, that's for sure. Because my top 30 changes every single day. But yeah, look, World of Witchcraft came in 6th, very, very disappointingly. Now, 5th, I'm surprised this one came in 5th. This one has probably been in 3rd for majority of the time of me watching these. Out of these 4 that I'm about to say, well, World of Witchcraft, of course, but this one's probably been in 3rd the most, and that's Halloween. Baba Yaga is amazing. They wrote it so well. The humour is amazing. The spookiness is amazing. The soundtrack is amazing. The witch is amazing. The house is amazing. The characters are amazing. Oh, I could be here all day with this episode. 4th spot, Renn Scare. Now, this one has always been in 4th, really. I think for majority of the time, it's always been in 4th. The Jester, amazing. Absolutely amazing. Yeah, this guy needs a bloody good career job. He's just so good, the voice actor of the Jester. The Renaissance Fair is amazing. The gang were good. One of the better performances from Kate Micucci, certainly in this show, but in general. And yeah, the Renaissance Fair, like I said, was amazing. The humour was pretty good in this episode. There were times where it was not so good. There was one amazing scene at the end though with the king whipping out his phone with that sound, like that ringtone that everyone had back in 2017 when this episode was made. Such a good episode. Third spot. I can't believe this one. I managed to snatch third spot because this one's been in fifth, I think, for majority of my time watching these. And that's In Space. Yeah, I guess that the reason why is because it's so scary. Like, when I first watched it, I wasn't expecting it to be this scary. I was always expecting it to be the most spookiest of the second season, and it certainly was the most spookiest, nearly probably of the show, really. Apart from like Madcap or something like that from season 1. But yeah, In Space is just a classic. That you got the red space crew ghost, whatever you want to call him. He was amazing. The virus spreading plot was amazing, and yeah, it's just everything works so well in this episode. Now, second spot, Werewolf. Love this episode. I love a good werewolf, and we've finally got an amazing werewolf. Now, we've had some pretty cool Wolfmans from Scooby-Doo Are You, but this is the first real werewolf that I've seen that says, finally, an amazing werewolf. Because werewolves are like my favourite villains, really, and yeah, this one was amazing. Just loved this episode. There's not much more I could say about it. Everything about it I loved. Now, first spot, I think you'd probably know what it is by now, and I think most people would probably agree with me. Do Not Disturb. Such a good episode, this one. It's amazing how good this episode really is, in so many ways. And, you know, it's really, really tough to explain all this, but basically everything about it I loved. The rules, the ghost of Mother was amazing, the humour. I really like Jack and Josh, the arguing brothers. That was quite cool. The gang being all hating on Fred, Daphne, Venn swaying, Velma not really paying attention to the mystery much, was kind of good. Shaggy and Scooby, you know, you got some great scenes with them in this episode, especially like the elevator, when they're eating their dessert before their dinner. Kind of silly, I wouldn't be doing that in a house like that, and Ghost of Mother is so spooky. But yeah, anyways, thanks for watching this very, very, very long ranking video. If you're wondering why there was no video yesterday, it's because now all my videos will be coming out Sunday, 7 o'clock, just like this one has. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed it, and yeah, stay tuned for next week, where I will be starting more Scooby-Doo reviews. I'm probably going to start with Scooby-Doo Where Are You, or one of the older series. Certainly not the new Scooby-Doo movies, though, because we'll be here for a long time watching them. And yeah, not exactly what I'd want. But yes, Scooby-Doo Where Are You? Can't exactly tell you which episode will be coming out next week. Probably like the Black Knight or something like that. I might do it in random, might do it in order. Who knows? You'll find out next week. But yeah, until then, I'll see you guys next time. So yeah, guys, sorry about this. This is a little clip after the episode. I kind of realised that I forgot to include Junkyard Dogs. I just assumed there's 26 episodes, but I counted the 2 short episodes separately, and Professor Harp Part 1 and Part 2 separately. And I completely forgot about Junkyard Dogs until I was making the thumbnail. So yeah, I'm very, very sorry. Sorry, I'll slide everything down. So 27th will be Curse of Harpbeard's Booty. 26 would be the Pizza Opossum one. 25 would be Ghost in the Mystery Machine. 24 would be Omelettes Forever. And 23rd, would be Junkyard Dogs. And what do I have to say about it? The Trash Monster was pretty cool. The Diamond Emerald Ring was also cool. Seeing Axel was kind of cool. And the Officer was kind of cool, but otherwise not too much I liked about it. And yeah, definitely one of the worst ones, which you can obviously probably tell, seeming I only had to move 4 episodes, thankfully. I'm very, very sorry to all the fans who love Junkyard Dogs. I know there wouldn't be many, but yeah, I'm very, very, very sorry. This one slipped my mind. So you're very, very lucky that I was going to put that on the thumbnail. Otherwise, I would have completely forgotten about it. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed. And yeah, just remember what I said about moving everything down and making space for junkyard dogs. I'm very, very, very sorry about this. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video.